Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. This has been a real quick hour and learned so much and heard so many great stories from the great Jonathan Platt. Jonathan Platt, if you are just joining me, is my special guest. He's a general manager at A-List Media Entertainment Inc. and the Yoshiki Foundation of America. We're going to just finish up here real quick, Jonathan, with a couple of questions. I'm putting myself, after I've listened to some of your stories here, I'm putting myself in the mind of the listener, and the music business that you kind of came up through has changed, and it continues to change. Almost, it seems like monthly, yearly. Um, Things are happening so quickly. How do you stay relevant, Jonathan, yourself? And then I got the same question. Give the artist, if you could, a recommendation on how they should stay relevant and how they can stay relevant. But how do you stay relevant? Because you've gone through so many phases, so many different parts of the profession of the music industry, and really conquered them all, if you don't mind me saying.
Know
How do
about
you
that,
stay
but
relevant?
I don't know about staying relevant. I don't really need to stay relevant. I enjoy what I do at this point in my life, you know. Um, and that it's and something we'll talk about later on, but it's working with one of the most amazing artists I've ever known or worked with, and being part of his whole journey, right? Um, I don't know. I don't To say relevant means that you need to. What does that mean, really?
Well,
Relevant to who? Relevant to myself
relevant.
or relevant to other people? Because I really don't need. For me, it's all about being able to do what I'm happy about doing and working
So
with
you're
people.
not looking back. You're not looking around. You're going.
Never,
I'm doing what
I look forward. I don't look anywhere. This is the first time where I've been enjoying this, but really, I really have not really had a lot of time to really reflect on my whole life and career. It's kind of interesting to do this. It's kind of a nice exercise, but I'm more always about looking forward.
and it served you well. I like that answer. I think that's really good. What about the young, the new 17-year-old Jonathan Platt that's out there listening right now, and they're like, where do I go? Where do I start? What would
Again, to me, everything you do should lead to something else. I always tell people that if they want to get into the business or the industry, they got to find where all the people are. Go to events. Like there's a lot of industry events like Honey Pot that used to be around, where there are mixers where you meet with other people or get involved with the Grammys and volunteer on things. It's just really about meeting people, getting involved, and trying to figure out where you want to be, what you want to be, in your life. The industry's changed tremendously. It's now moving into a lot of areas where social media and a lot of those things where I'm not as relevant in that aspect, but the newer generation and that's where it's going. So I really feel like there's a lot of opportunities out there for people.
Hmm. That's good advice. Good advice from Jonathan Platt. We've just finished segment one. Jonathan is still with us. He's a general manager at A-List Media Entertainment Inc. and the Yoshiki Foundation of America. In the second segment, I want you to stay with us. We've got a lot more to talk about up to Jonathan's current, uh, what he's doing now, but also there's more that's very, very interesting. And one of the things that I can't wait to hear, we're going to hear about on the other side in segment two, is Jonathan put together a soundtrack for one of the largest grossing horror franchises ever. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You're going to have to go into segment two with us. We're going to hear about what, Jonathan. Tease us a little bit.
Oh, I just think if you love horror, this is one of the biggest film franchises in the world. And I had the honor of being a music supervisor on this project in soundtrack.
Okay, so
And I don't like
check
horror
it.
movies, but I learned to like them.
You don't like horror? Neither do I. But and in fact, I got to admit, I've tried to watch a couple of these, but the trailers have scared me.